Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before we begin this video, don't forget to give it a like. It truly encourages us to keep sharing beneficial content, inshallah. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our future videos on faith, spirituality, and Islamic reminders. Barakallahu feekum. May Allah bless you and enjoy the video. The concept of divine love is both profound and deeply personal. And when we speak of Allah's love, we enter a realm that transcends ordinary human experience. Allah's love is not just an emotion. It is a sustaining force that permeates every aspect of existence, guiding, protecting, and nurturing creation in ways that are often unseen and sometimes difficult to comprehend. This love is unique in its nature, unconditional, boundless, and infinitely patient. It exists regardless of our flaws, mistakes, or misunderstandings, and it continues to call us toward growth, healing, and closeness. In everyday life, many of us long for love that feels pure and all-encompassing. But human love can often be conditional, limited, or confusing. We might experience love that comes with expectations, judgments, or conditions, which can lead to feelings of uncertainty or even pain. In contrast, Allah's love stands apart because it transcends these human limitations. It is not based on what we do or don't do, but on His perfect mercy and wisdom. This love is a constant presence, whether we are aware of it or not, shaping the universe and every moment of our lives. At times, the way Allah's love manifests can be mysterious and even puzzling. We might find ourselves in situations that feel challenging or painful, and it can be hard to recognize the hand of divine love in those moments. However, this is part of the deeper reality that Allah's love is not always about making life easy or giving us everything we want. Instead, it often works through trials and hardships to refine our character, strengthen our faith, and bring us closer to our true purpose. What appears confusing or harsh on the surface can be an expression of love in disguise, love that cares enough to guide us toward what is ultimately best for us, even if it is not immediately clear. This complexity of divine love is what makes the phrase, "Allah told me to tell you someone loves you so much they're confused," particularly powerful. It suggests that love can be so overwhelming and intense that it challenges our understanding and shakes our sense of certainty. When Allah's love enters our hearts, it can stir emotions and questions that unsettle us because it asks us to look beyond the obvious, beyond surface-level feelings, and into something deeper. This love doesn't always come with clear answers right away. It invites patience, reflection, and trust in the process. Moreover, Allah's love is deeply personal. Each person experiences it in a way that is uniquely tailored to their own journey. The love that one individual feels might be expressed through comfort and ease, while for another, it might come through hardship and struggle. This personalized nature of divine love means that it can sometimes feel confusing or contradictory, especially when we compare our experiences with others. Yet, it also means that no matter what we face, Allah's love is present and active, meeting us exactly where we are. Another important aspect is that Allah's love is inherently tied to His mercy and forgiveness. Even when we falter, make mistakes, or stray from the path, Allah's love remains steadfast. It is this mercy that allows for redemption and transformation, making it possible for anyone to return and reconnect. This kind of love defies the human tendency to give up on someone who has caused pain or disappointment. Instead, it offers a way back, a door that is never closed, no matter how lost we might feel. Recognizing this love requires a certain openness and humility. It means acknowledging that we do not always understand the bigger picture and being willing to surrender our need for control or immediate clarity. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and receptive, we can begin to sense the subtle ways Allah's love moves within us and around us. This might be through moments of peace amidst chaos, unexpected acts of kindness, or the quiet reassurance that comes during prayer and reflection. Ultimately, Allah's love invites us into a relationship, a dynamic and ongoing connection that calls us to grow spiritually and emotionally. It encourages us to embrace the uncertainties of life with faith, knowing that we are supported by a love greater than anything we can fully grasp. This love challenges us to see beyond confusion and doubt, and to trust that even when things feel unclear, there is a divine presence guiding us toward healing and wholeness. In this light, the idea that someone loves you so much they're confused can be understood as an expression of the overwhelming, sometimes paradoxical nature of divine love. It reflects the way Allah's love can both comfort and challenge us, bringing moments of joy as well as periods of testing. But through it all, this love remains constant, a powerful force that invites us to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear, because it is rooted in a deep and unwavering care for our well-being. Love is one of the most powerful emotions humans experience, and when it is intense, it can stir up a whirlwind of feelings: joy, passion, hope, but also confusion, doubt, and fear. This confusion is often a natural byproduct of love's complexity. When someone loves deeply, especially in close relationships, the intensity of those feelings can sometimes cloud clarity and create emotional turmoil. This is true whether the love is between friends, family members, romantic partners, or even within oneself. It's a universal experience to feel overwhelmed by love's force and not fully understand what it means or how to navigate it. In human relationships, love is rarely simple. It can be joyful and uplifting, but also complicated and contradictory. People can love someone deeply while also feeling hurt, unsure, or conflicted about how to express or receive that love. When love is intense, it sometimes causes people to act in ways that seem confusing to others or even to themselves. For example, a person might express love through actions that don't seem loving on the surface, such as withdrawal, anger, or indecision. This can be because their feelings are so strong and tangled that they don't know how to handle them, leading to behaviors that seem contradictory. The confusion caused by intense love often comes from the challenge of balancing vulnerability and protection. Loving someone deeply means opening oneself up to the possibility of pain or rejection. This can lead to inner conflicts, wanting closeness and connection, but also fearing hurt or loss. This fear can make someone pull away, send mixed signals, or act uncertain, even if their love is genuine and powerful. This emotional push and pull creates a space where confusion naturally arises. When the phrase, "someone loves you so much they're confused," is considered, it highlights this paradox. It acknowledges that love can be so overwhelming that it disrupts normal patterns of thought and behavior. It means that the person's feelings are genuine but complicated, and their confusion is a sign of the depth of their love rather than a lack of it. This can be comforting for anyone who has ever felt unsure about how to respond to someone else's love or who has struggled to express their own feelings clearly. Moreover, this confusion can also stem from the complexity of human nature itself. People are not perfect. They carry their own fears, past wounds, insecurities, and contradictions. When someone loves deeply, all these parts of themselves come into play. They may be trying to protect themselves from past hurts while also yearning for connection. They might be unsure of what the future holds or fear losing the person they care about. These internal struggles can manifest as confusion, making love a complicated and sometimes bewildering experience. In romantic relationships, for example, this confusion is common. Partners may deeply care for each other, but struggle to communicate effectively or align their expectations. Love may be intense, but misunderstandings, past traumas, or fear of vulnerability can cause uncertainty and mixed emotions. This can lead to situations where one or both people feel confused about the relationship's direction or about their own feelings. Recognizing that confusion can be a natural part of intense love helps normalize these experiences and encourages compassion for oneself and one's partner. Similarly, in familial or friendship relationships, love's intensity can lead to confusion. When emotions run high, boundaries may blur, and people might say or do things that are confusing or hurtful. However, underneath those moments often lies a deep care and concern that might not be easily expressed. This kind of love challenges people to practice patience and understanding, recognizing that confusion is not a sign of failure, but part of the messy, beautiful process of loving deeply. It's important to understand that confusion doesn't mean love is weak or flawed. Rather, it shows that love is a complex human experience that can't always be neatly categorized or controlled. Confusion can coexist with love, and sometimes it's a sign that the person is wrestling with their feelings, trying to understand them, or navigating difficult circumstances. It can be a stepping stone toward greater clarity and deeper connection once emotions are acknowledged and explored. In this way, love's confusion invites honesty and communication. When people admit their uncertainty and vulnerability, it creates space for dialogue and growth. It encourages us to listen deeply and to respond with empathy. Saying, "I'm confused because I love you so much," opens a door to understanding, allowing relationships to evolve and strengthen through transparency and mutual support. Furthermore, this confusion can be a catalyst for self-discovery. When someone is confused by their intense love, it often means they are confronting their own fears, desires, and limitations. This inner exploration can lead to greater emotional maturity and a deeper understanding of oneself and others. It teaches patience, resilience, and the ability to hold complexity without rushing to judgment or resolution. Ultimately, the confusion that comes with intense love is part of the human journey. It reflects the depth and power of love, reminding us that love is not always simple or easy, but it is always meaningful. It challenges us to be gentle with ourselves and others, to accept uncertainty as part of growth, and to trust that with time and care, clarity and peace can emerge. When we embrace this perspective, we realize that loving someone so much that we become confused is not a weakness or a problem to fix quickly. It is a sign of love's profound impact, a beautiful messiness that shows how deeply connected we can be. It reminds us that love, in all its intensity and complexity, is a journey worth taking, even when the path is unclear. Spiritual communication is a deeply personal and often subtle experience. When we say, "Allah told me to tell you someone loves you so much," they're confused. It suggests that messages from the divine can come through unexpected ways, through people, feelings, signs, or moments of insight. Understanding and interpreting these messages requires openness, sensitivity, and a willingness to look beyond the surface. Many people believe that Allah communicates with us not only through scripture or prayer, but also through everyday experiences and encounters. Sometimes, a seemingly ordinary conversation or a sudden thought can carry a deeper meaning intended to guide, comfort, or awaken us. This kind of spiritual communication is rarely straightforward. It often arrives wrapped in symbolism, feelings, or paradoxes that challenge us to reflect and discern. Hearing Allah's messages requires us to develop spiritual awareness. This means cultivating a heart and mind that are attuned to subtle guidance rather than expecting loud or obvious signs. It involves being present and mindful so we can notice the small nudges, inspirations, or inner promptings that might otherwise go unnoticed. For example, a phrase like, "Someone loves you so much they're confused," might be shared by a friend, but it can also resonate on a spiritual level, revealing a deeper truth about the complexities of love and connection. Confusion itself can be a sign of a spiritual message. When love is so overwhelming that it causes confusion, it invites us to pause and seek deeper understanding. It calls us to reflect on our relationships and our hearts, to question what we think we know, and to open ourselves to growth and healing. The confusion signals that something important is happening beneath the surface, a struggle or transformation that needs attention and care. Interpreting these spiritual messages is not always easy. It requires patience and humility. We must recognize that we might not have immediate clarity and that some messages unfold over time. Sometimes, what seems confusing at first becomes clear only through reflection, prayer, or experience. This journey of discernment can deepen our faith and strengthen our relationship with Allah, as we learn to trust His timing and wisdom. Spiritual communication also emphasizes the role of community and trusted guides. Often, messages from Allah come through other people, family, friends, mentors, or spiritual leaders, who can help us understand what we are experiencing. When someone says, "Allah told me to tell you," it reflects a sense of responsibility to share a message that might bring comfort or insight, even if it challenges us. This sharing requires sensitivity and respect, acknowledging that each person's path and timing are unique. Ultimately, spiritual communication is about connection. It bridges the seen and unseen worlds, linking our hearts to the divine presence. It invites us to listen deeply, not just with our ears, but with our souls, and to be receptive to the love and guidance that surrounds us, even when it feels confusing or unclear. This openness allows us to grow spiritually, heal emotionally, and move forward with greater faith and understanding. In essence, the phrase, "Allah told me to tell you someone loves you so much they're confused," can be seen as a spiritual invitation. It encourages us to embrace the mystery of love, to accept the confusion as part of a larger divine plan, and to remain open to the ways Allah communicates love and guidance in our lives. When love becomes so intense that it causes confusion, the qualities of patience and faith become essential. In moments of uncertainty, whether in relationships, personal feelings, or spiritual experiences, holding on to patience allows us to navigate the complexity without rushing to conclusions or becoming overwhelmed. Faith, especially faith in Allah, provides a grounding force that reassures us that even when things are unclear, there is a purpose and a wisdom behind the confusion. Patience is more than just waiting. It is an active state of endurance and trust. It means resisting the impulse to force clarity or immediate answers and instead embracing the process of growth and understanding at its own pace. When someone loves so deeply that they feel confused, rushing to fix that confusion can sometimes make things worse, intensifying anxiety or misunderstandings. Patience creates the space needed for emotions to settle and for insights to emerge naturally. Faith complements patience by anchoring us in the belief that Allah's wisdom surpasses human understanding. When we trust in Allah, we acknowledge that the confusion we experience is part of a bigger plan, one that may be beyond our current perception. This trust helps us release the need to control every aspect of the situation and instead surrender to the divine timing and guidance. It encourages us to pray, reflect, and seek comfort in Allah's mercy during moments of uncertainty. Together, patience and faith empower us to approach confusing love with grace rather than fear. They invite us to see confusion not as a sign of failure or weakness, but as a natural phase of emotional and spiritual development. By holding on to these virtues, we create a foundation for healing and clarity to grow. This process often involves self-reflection, honest communication, and openness to change. In practical terms, patience and faith encourage us to maintain hope when the path seems unclear. They remind us that feelings of confusion are temporary and that with time and effort, understanding will come. This perspective is comforting because it prevents despair and helps us stay connected to our own worth and to the love that surrounds us, whether from Allah, others, or within ourselves. Additionally, these virtues foster resilience. Life's uncertainties, especially in matters of love, can be challenging, but patience and faith build inner strength. They help us withstand emotional ups and downs without losing our sense of peace or purpose. This resilience is crucial because love, especially when complicated, often requires us to navigate difficult emotions while remaining open and compassionate. Patience and faith also encourage us to seek support. Sometimes, clarity comes through conversations with trusted friends, family, or spiritual mentors who can offer perspective and encouragement. Sharing our confusion openly can lighten the emotional load and invite guidance that helps us move forward. Finally, patience and faith deepen our connection with Allah. They remind us that we are not alone, that divine love is present even when we cannot fully see or understand it. This connection nurtures our spirit, giving us comfort and strength to endure confusion and emerge with greater wisdom and peace. In conclusion, when love is so powerful it causes confusion, patience and faith are vital companions. They provide the calm in the storm, the trust in the unknown, and the hope that guides us toward clarity and healing. Embracing these virtues allows us to move through confusion with grace, confident that Allah's love and guidance are always with us. May Allah bless you and guide you to a life filled with mercy, love, and tranquility.